Guys, welcome back to some more Infinite Magicraid. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a couple heroes and really looking at epic heroes and the god status that they have, guys. There are a few epic heroes in this game that do incredibly well, even performing a lot better than our legendary heroes. So we're going to break down a couple of the heroes that you have to get, guys, that you want to focus on. Now, looking at my heroes in particular, there are a lot of 4 stars, there are a lot of 5-star heroes that you want to build, that you want to level up. Some you don't want to focus on. Some are just going to be essentially fodder when they get to this 5-star level, which will be food for using to make your awakened heroes. Actually adding stars on them are going to be a couple heroes, but again, I want to focus on the epic heroes that you cannot pass up, guys, that you absolutely need to have and have to build. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. All right, guys, so the first one on our list is Wim. So you can see, guys, he is a tank class protection shield. If you have fought him in PvP, if you have fought him in the campaign, incredibly difficult to get through as a tank. Also, if you do have him in your team, guys, he shields the entire team. He has some very, very strong, for every ally whose HP is below 24, he grants them a shield by 20% when he survives for 3 rounds. And then also grants a shield 40% of his max HP on all allies for 2 turns, guys. And you can see you can actually drop this cooldown to 6 or 4 turns, from 6 to 4. So you can have a shield up on there for 2 turns, with it having a cooldown of 2 turns, which again is incredibly tough. And if you are building out as exclusive item, you can actually have more actions after the shield has ended, making him a absolute monster to deal with. Overall, the damage that he does, not too super high, but he also does have this consolidation ability, which reduces damage 20%. Again, if you've utilized him in combat, he does incredibly well. I don't have him yet, but I absolutely want to get him, guys. He is an epic hero that I am waiting to build out. Second one we're looking at is Obero. He has AoE damage with a bleed effect. So as much as I like the burn, as much as I like the HP burn, the bleed effect seems to be absolutely incredible with stacking damage, both the poison and the bleed. Again, if you have ever fought them within battle, it does incredibly well, guys. The bleed effect, single stage attack right there. Feebleness, of course, is going to increase the damage received by 20%, meaning that your entire team is going to do more damage within there. But this is the big one, guys. Has a 24% chance to inflict layer of bleed for 2 turns with a crit. So you want to stack crit on him, and look, when you're leveling him up, guys, that is an incredible amount for the chance to bleed. You can see, guys, the attack damage in here before each turn, based on the number of bleed layered. So you can layer multiple bleed dot debuffs on here, stackable up to 10 layers, guys. It's huge. The bleed in here in this game is absolutely broken, which is the reason why, as an epic hero, guys, he does incredible. He does a lot of damage. In addition, guys, with that bleed stacked on top of the damage that he's doing, you'll essentially kill the entire enemy team if you get the lucky RNG to get all of those bleed effects up onto the enemies, which make him a very big priority, again, to build as an epic hero. So the third one we're going to focus on here is Liz. As you can see, guys, she looks like a massive tank. She has this giant weapon. However, looking up here, she is support. That is right, guys. Cleanse, shield, HP, burning, and healing within this hero. Again, the character model really threw me off on this one. But again, she is super difficult. You can see, guys, they have the HP burn in there. Resistance debuff. Now this is, of course, super effective when it comes to the PvP, when it comes to cannot be afflicted with debuffs. So the bleed, the poison, things of that nature are not going to hit here. And she also restores a considerable amount of them. So not only does she heal a target, but she also gives them this resistant debuff to essentially keep them alive. Here she has a self HP heal for every 1 debuff inflicted on an enemy. So if you have a dot team, this can keep her absolutely healed, guys. And then the last one, this is the support aspect. Restores 10% of match HP to all allies and cleanses 3 layers of dot debuffs. That's right, guys. This is kind of the counter to Obero. If you have the dots up, this will get rid of the dots, guys. Also grants them a shield by 20% of the max HP. So again, she is a hero. You want to pay attention to what the heroes have because she grants a shield. You want stronger shields, or you want to buff up her max HP so she can actually go ahead and shield them with a much stronger shield. Again, surprised to see her character model, surprised to see that she is support. But guys, shields in here are huge. This dot cleansing in here is absolutely huge as well with this resistance debuff. And then of course, resurrection, guys, a very, very strong skill for this hero. Fourth one in this lineup is Maya. Maya, again, a big support hero, guys. Buff, cleanse, heal. Absolutely, guys. Anytime you can, again, remove the poison, you can remove the dots, remove the debuffs, as well as buffing up heroes and cleansing. Absolutely works well. So deals damage and restores HP, 5% of max HP for an ally with the lowest health. That is right, guys. She is going to focus on the ally with the lowest health, making it incredibly hard to kill a hero that is already at a low level. Restores 15% of max HP for an ally and 2 random allies, before which, if the target's HP is full, cleanses 3 layers of dot debuff. So similar to we just seen on Liz, cleansing the debuffs off here are incredible, and she grants them heal, guys. With a 4-round cooldown right here, that is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the skills, but she gets better, guys. Restores self HP by 1.8 of max HP whenever an ally takes direct damage. So if an ally takes damage, she's going to heal herself, guys, making her incredibly difficult to kill within PvP. And then, of course, right here, resist debuff, consolidation, damage mitigation, and she has the shielding. Look at this. It loses HP by 35% of max HP, restores all allies' HP 3 times, each time restoring 8% of the max HP. Before the first restoration, she grants consolidation, so that 20% reduction for 2 turns. Before the second restoration, she grants them a shield. Before the third restoration, she grants them the resist debuff for 1 turn if HP is full, which is the reason, guys, as a epic support hero, as a healer, guys, there isn't really many that are unparalleled or kind of parallel or that run coinciding with her, because she is such a strong support hero. And then we get into more damage with Holder. AoE damage, again, similar to what we've seen before. Counter attack. So if he gets attacked, he actually attacks back. Plus he has a bleed effect, which is, again, incredibly tough, guys. If you do not have it, or if the enemy does not have anything to cleanse out these bleed effects, the bleed effects are huge, guys. Again, they do an incredible amount of damage. If you have 1 or even 2 of these heroes that can stack these bleed effects, it is incredibly potent when it comes to killing. Guys, you can see normal attack has a bleed effect. Right here, Death Storm has a bleed effect. The passive skill has a bleed effect. And the final one, he can buff himself up for the attack and also the counterattack. When he takes direct damage, guys, he immediately attacks back with an opportunity to do, that's right, you guessed it, a bleed effect on the enemy, which makes him super, super strong, guys. Again, the bleed effect in this game, very, in my opinion, very underrated. If you do not have it or do not use it, if you use it, you know how broken it is. Guys, utilizing these heroes that have a bleed effect works incredibly well against targets, especially PvP, because if they cannot cleanse out or remove that bleed effect, it works incredibly well at just dominating and destroying the enemy team. Then we bring up Lester, guys. If you've played any games like this, AoE damage, but the big thing with Lester and what makes him such an important hero to have within here is this defense down, guys. Decreases defense by 30%. Now, when you come to big, high defensive tanks or even bosses, defense down will allow some of your heroes to actually dominate and burn through an incredible amount of HP because of the defense down. You can even see Piercing Shell has defense down, decreases defense by 60%, guys. This hero is a must within formations. Again, the amount of damage that you're doing, 60% chance to reduce their defense down for 2 turns. That is right, guys. This is going to work incredibly well. Guaranteed crit. Crit is guaranteed under the status. So if he is using this ability, it is going to be a crit. Then, of course, guys, the hail of bullets. This is all AoE damage. So not only does Lester have the ability to debuff a ton of defense, he is also doing AoE damage to the enemies that he is debuffing, allowing him to just scale damage through the roof. Even bringing him as along again as a debuffer in a lot of formations does work incredibly well, because your damage amplification on the rest of your heroes will be literally through the roof. All right, guys, so out of there, looking at the amount of faction heroes that we do have, and looking, of course, at the heroes that we possess within those tiers, guys, I have Holder, which works incredibly well. Last one we look at is Hardac. He is a tank, AoE damage, counterattack, of course, that we've seen. Also has a very, very big shielding aspect, and he is the final hero we're looking at. As far as the epic god tier heroes, we have 7 of them in here, guys. They are going to be the predominant focus that you're building. They're heroes that you absolutely do not want to use as fodder, because when it comes to formations, when it comes to the game itself, they perform incredibly well in the role that they have been chosen for. So guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the epic elite god tier heroes that we have. And as always, thank you guys for watching.